The janky Jungle Cruise ride is falling apart, and they're going to have to rip apart many of the parts of the ride. Well, that was redundant, but you know what? Redundancy is not something that Disney considers, apparently, when it comes to their ride attractions. The Jungle Cruise was just recently down for a significant amount of time as they worked to insert all the virtue signaling they could. And yet now they're having to take it back down again, folks, for months in the middle of summer, because the ride is falling apart. Hello folks, welcome back to the channel that is not falling apart. No, nay, not for 1 second. Hip hip hooray, we are on our way, and it's all because of you. Welcome to the Skipper Pro Channel, not just the Pro Channel, that's fine. But folks, we're here to tell you what's on our mind when it comes to the Jungle Cruise ride and connect the dots here, folks, because there's something going on with Disney rides seemingly breaking all the time and even being delivered broken right from the get-go. Even the new ones don't seem to work, and we're going to show you why that is. Maybe even help you plan around what might be going down at the Walt Disney World Resort and beyond. Here we go with the panel.
Besides that, their audience is people who want to go. Obviously, fewer people want to go, which means their potential audience is smaller, no matter whether they're getting them or not.
I'm just glad for segues. I don't know about you guys, but that's a perfect segue to this story, folks. And we covered this not so long ago that the media was blaming Christians for the failure of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I know that's an amazing thing to say, but they're trying it. Folks, we're going to tie that to a brand new story today. This is not the same story. We've got something additional to add to it, but I want to show you this article out of that park place by Marvin the Movie Monster, who, yes, is now a writer for that park place. He did a phenomenal job. He says, with Tiana's Bayou Adventure failing to delight the majority of Disney fans, many have been left wondering what went wrong. Why is this ride a replacement for one of the most beloved rides of all time in Splash Mountain such a letdown? Well, The Hill's Mark Pinsky thinks he knows the answer. Is it the fact the attraction doesn't work? Is it the undertones in the happy-go-lucky depiction of the Avery Island salt mines? Is it the lackluster music, or the fact that an attraction teeming with more than 70 animatronic critters has been turned into an experience with less than 50 and in reality less than 20, just as we reported? No, folks, we don't count the swaying okra. Sorry, Oprah Winfrey. Nope, it's Christians, specifically white Christians. White Christians. Pinsky goes on to say that it's all about the white Christians. It's their fault that this ride sucks. It's not the Imagineers. It's not the statues with blinking eyes they call animatronics. These are all animatronics, by the way, folks. They don't move. They have blinking projector eyes. Animatronic. Counts now. You know what? You could put up a stop sign, and as long as it sways in the wind, it's an animatronic these days. But it goes on to talk about just how bad, and look at that. The evil queen is back. Get her off. We'll get in trouble. Oh, my gosh. Did I say her?
You use that term loosely, right?
But before we get into...
she does.
Lou, I think you're confused as well as I am. But look, folks, here's the new tie-in. Where are we going with this? So Tiana's Bayou Adventure doesn't work. It was opened, not working. It was opened, broken. It doesn't work. It is virtue signaling from people who need to get an engineering degree. They need to call Lorena and say, how do we fix this thing, please? But this is not the first time that has happened. Take a look at this, folks. This is out of WDWMagic.com. Walt Disney World's Jungle Cruise set for some summer 2024 refurbishment. Now, folks, if you're remembering back, the Jungle Cruise was just refurbished not so long ago. And it was refurbished because it was deemed inappropriate, offensive, a relic of the past, and it needed to be upgraded for the modern message. And so we had new animatronics brought in, Trader Sam kicked out. We had all these changes made to make sure that it didn't offend anyone. Well, take a look at this. Now here we are in July, and suddenly there's an impromptu refurbishment. It says, according to the latest Walt Disney World calendar update, the Magic Kingdom's Jungle Cruise will close for refurbishment later this summer. The Jungle Cruise closure begins on August 26th and continues through, and here's the key phrase, folks, at least September 17th. Now, why does it say at least? Probably because they don't know when it's going to open.
Yeah.
And that's minimum. While we don't expect any show changes during the closure, several permits were recently filed, including with contractor Underwater engineering services.
So they got a subcontractor. Okay.
Although the Jungle Cruise's show scenes have recently been updated, the ride has not been closed for refurbishment since 2017. Now, notice they don't mention anything really about what the prior closure was for, what was done. Here's the bottom line. Here's what I want people to know. They went in and they made sure, and this is a real thing, the Imagineers actually went to Animal Kingdom and talked to the primate caregivers to find out how they could depict monkeys and chimpanzees and orangutans and all these things in funny ways where guests would not be laughing at them but laughing with them. That's real. That is, they went to these great lengths to make sure this was utterly and totally unoffensive, even benign. And guess what? And I'll say banal. That's where we arrived eventually. The backside of water is more interesting than what they did. But folks, here's the lesson to be learned. They spent all this money to make this ride that never offended anyone be inoffensive again. And when they did so, the ride is literally falling apart to the point they have to close it. Lorena, walk us through just what bad condition this ride has been in for years since they went in and made these changes.
Oh, besides the, let's see, sinking, boats taking on water, and they've had to evacuate people out. That's a situation I have never seen with the Jungle Cruise. Portions of the sets like falling apart, like before you go into the temple, apparently that was like falling apart. Not only that, they had this cheesy scrim up where you could, I mean, literally out there, not like made to match what the temple looked like, but it was very obvious. I mean, it looked like crime scene tape, let's put it that way for that. I think some of the animatronics had like stopped working. I think I saw that happen one time, but mainly the boats taking on water and set pieces just falling apart. And not to mention the really, really boring ass script that the skippers have to stick to now, because remember, the Jungle Cruise skippers were like improv comedians. So they had like a kind of like a small baseline, but the skippers were usually what made your trip on the attraction. And that's what made it so cool, because it's never the same thing twice. Now, you know, you can't really shoot at, you know, the hippos anymore. And just, I mean,
that makes a lot of
sense. Over their head.
That makes a lot of sense in the current climate of Disney. They love their hippos, Lorena.
Well, you guys are missing the whole point here. There is nothing wrong with this ride. It is your fault.
That's right. We've not yet arrived at the Christians broke it.
Yeah.
Hey, it is all just all your fault for being a poor fan.
Those wascally Christians.
Real African bridges fall down. You know, real African headhunters get shown the way to
right. Real Cambodian temples crumble. You should get to experience it at the happiest place on earth too.
Yeah. Real hippos are freaking dangerous. Didn't you know that?
That's right. Just because a nut and bolt, you know, comes flying at your head.
Laughing with the apes instead of at them. They're going to incorporate a little bit of the Tiki Room too, and have them all sing, "Let's all laugh like the monkeys laugh."
Ron, walk us through your experience in terms of maintenance at Disney World as of late, because again, we're going to be talking about this tomorrow. The Caroline Reed article out of Forbes, billions of dollars are being wiped out of this company by what's happening at the parks. Walk us through what you're seeing.
Okay, so one of the things that, as a former cast member, that I was taught in the traditions class, this goes back a long time, was it's called the Disney Scoop. And if you know, you know. The Disney Scoop is that every cast member is taught that every cast member is custodial, right? Regardless. So the Disney Scoop is if you're walking by something, you see trash, you without even stopping, you bend down at the knee, you scoop it up, you throw it in the trash can, and nobody even notices. Well, that is gone. And Lorena can verify this. There's trash all over the parks now. I look down and I constantly see trash at the parks that has not been picked up by anybody. That's just on, that's not even the maintenance level. That's just the custodial level. You go to a Jungle Cruise. The last time I was on it, unfortunately, it was such a bad experience for me the last time I was on Jungle Cruise.
Okay. Oh, whoa. Now, wait a minute. Why was it a bad experience? We can't just jump that one.
Oh, well, it has to do with the skipper, unfortunately, and I don't like to talk bad about cast members.
I'll talk about it, but I'll let you go, Ron. Thank you. You just reminded me of something.
Just don't name the skipper. It'll be all right. Just don't say
I don't remember
Skipper Jones. You know, don't say that. I
don't remember that person's name. I can tell you I don't know what that person uses as pronouns, but I can tell you I don't know that person's name. And it was so bad that they almost kind of yelled at the boat for not laughing at anything, and they weren't joking at that point in time. But like,
I love a good castigating of bad humor. Yeah, everyone's feeling so awkward.
Wait! He was emulating the Acolyte people. It's the fans' fault.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Pretty much. That's actually exactly what it felt like. But it was really, really bad.
Jews and Christians, get off the boat.
I've had some great skippers in the past, but also you just looked around at everything and it's like everything looks like it's falling apart. I thought they just redid this ride. And you go into the cave, it's literally there's pieces of the cave crumbling. So they had the net thing that Lorena was describing, just catching crumbling rocks that are like, I mean, it was crazy. I mean, we were seeing the backside of something. It wasn't water.
I don't know, Ron. I have enjoyed the new animatronic Bobcat. Not the animal, but the construction equipment. It's a great addition to the ride. It's really really.
To go back to what Ron was saying about the skippers. We will say one thing right now. The best thing about the Jungle Cruise is the queue. They have not messed with that yet. So the queue is still awesome. There was such a huge backup because they were bringing in Lightning Lane folks that they literally had to get on the PA and call Skipper X. We'll say Skipper Chad and Skipper Tad to get to their boats.
Skipper Chad, could you please get on the boat? Oh my gosh.
Skipper Chad, yeah, exactly. Get on the boat. We're like waiting for you here, and we have really, really mad and pissed and upset people. But
you gotta stop doing all that TikTok, Skipper Chan. Oh my gosh.
Now let's take a little more of an analytical view of this,
please.
Well, we know that they used to let them improvise. We know that they were hilarious and great jokes came out of that, and we know that that's because. I don't care if you got through all the schooling, and I don't care if you were a cast member, to get chosen to be a skipper on the Jungle Boat ride was not an automatic thing. They auditioned people. They looked them over real good. So, ipso facto, if they no longer have the ability to vary the script, we don't have to check out who they are. And automatically, we're going to get less wonderful people in that job. And it wouldn't be as bad if people weren't still anticipating what they remember as being the very best cast members getting that job. So, yeah, they were late to their boat. Big deal. They were late when they were the storybook boats, and they were late when they were astro gliders and everything else in the park. They were just late people. And because we're having trouble hiring because people don't want to work here for this money, where it's so hot in the summertime, we got to keep them. So I guess we'll just have to yell at them in front of God and everybody, right?
Is that why the orbiters move so fast these days?
Yes. They are bleeding up.
Jonas, what do you have here? What is this, and is it fair use? Can we actually watch this? What do you got?
Oh, this is just, if people wanted an example of the skippers and the kind of banter they do, I just thought I'd put
Okay, let's find out. What's going on these days?
All right.
Oh my goodness, we've been through the hippo pool. Never fear, I can get rid of them the same way that I get rid of all my boyfriends, okay? Now watch. I love you!
Okay, well, that's good for me. I'm not going to get on the Jungle Cruise anytime soon based on that one.
At least we know it's a land of fantasy because she has no boyfriend, I guarantee you.
Is that my ex?
Okay, I had to laugh.
Tom,
I did.
You don't want that as your ex. Tom, think about it.
You don't want that as your ex.
And folks, we come to the end, but do not fret, do not cry. Nah, I say, we're going to have a nice time real soon again. 3 videos a day right here on the Pro Channel. And folks, if you're not yet a member of the channel, even beyond being a subscriber, well, click the little join button that you'll see near these videos, and you can gain access to all sorts of member-exclusive content. For the price of a soda per month, you'll get video after video of even extra excellence. All right, folks, we must say goodbye for now. But in the meantime, please drop a comment, Please join the community dialogue of conversation right on down below. Waste not that wonderful mind of yours. And folks, we'll see you real soon. Keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.